What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Breaker Debates channel. This is your boy Narik Chase, and me and Madam B are going to be doing episode 119 of Breaker Debates. And in this video, as it says in the title, favorite 90s movies, which is actually to say 5 favorite 90s movies, but we put favorite 90s movies, but we're each going to get 5, like we did with the books, the favorite books. All right then. Unfortunately, didn't get a chance to invite Ken on this because it's kind of like last minute because my, jobs decided they want to interfere with what's going on here on YouTube. So, and with the business
did you
and everything.
actually say we were doing something?
It was so late. I was like, I'm just gonna call out on it. So I ain't worried about it. And I just gonna do some streamline, but. We brought it up, and I was like, guys, instead of me doing Streamline, we'll go ahead and just do this episode of Breaker Debates. So try to get Ken going with us next week, Tuesday or Thursday, which we might have to switch that up based on my jobs. But anyways, welcome, guys. We hope you do enjoy the video. As I said, we are going to be doing 5 movies a piece, and we're just going to get into the crust of it, what we like about it, what we didn't like about it. It's like what makes it such a classic, will it fit nowadays? You heard she said but anyways, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and just jump on into this. Now I have my 5 and she has her 5. Do you want to start first?
Okay. Do I name all 5 or just go one at a time?
We'll just go back and forth.
Okay, well, my first one is, it's not exactly a favorite, but I did like it when I actually got into it. The Man in Iron Mask, 1998 film, action drama. It has some of the greats, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jeremy Irons, John Malkovich, Gerard Depardieu, and Gabriel Bryant. Like I said, the greats.
I started watching that but didn't finish it.
You should have.
I'm sorry, I'm just a douchebag.
Yeah, I actually liked it, and now that I've started to watch
sorry.
Now that I've started to watch Versailles on Netflix, it actually, Louis and Philippe. Yeah, that it sort of.
You said Louis?
Yeah.
Brad Pitt?
No. Anyway, I basically like this movie because of, I like old dramas of how they did everything back in the day, and to know how they dealt with that in the movie The Twins. How the queen had to give up one because they couldn't have 2 heirs, and how that came about. And like I said, Leonardo DiCaprio, he played a good one as a good character and as an evil character. I think he did those 2 very good. And hold up, not Porthos. Aramis? No, D'Artagnan. Yes.
Why do you like? I mean, you say that you do have an affinity for, those kind of London, England-ish, Victoria.
I don't know.
Type.
I mean, I'll watch them all, but I guess it's just kind of in that era that kind of. How they dressed. And did you hear that?
Is that my phone? I don't know where my phone at, so that's Ken. Let us know in the chat right there if we're messing up or anything.
How they dressed and how they talked and how they just did all kind of things. I was gonna say one of the characters, D'Artagnan, in The Man in Iron Mask. I liked I liked his, and as I see Versailles, I'm sort of picking them out. I'm like, okay, that's D'Artagnan.
Making a comparison.
Yeah, making a comparison. That's D'Artagnan. He's Aramis. He's Porthos. Athos. I'm sort of picking them out. So it's kind of like, okay. Okay, what did you like about the movie that you saw of it?
I didn't really, all I seen was, I got to the part where I found out it was 2 of them. That was about it. That's all I know. It was just 2 of them. So, that's all I got to. It's been a long time.
You just knew there was 2 of them.
Yeah, I remember it was one part that showed one, and then there was a guy in an iron mask, and I was like, who the hell is this guy? And then it showed it was him. I was like,
well, you have
that was
much to learn. And if you would have watched it, you would have found out why. And you would have found out on how they made the switch, which was good if, it would have worked out. And in the end, like I said, it was a good ending. I really think it was a 1998 film, and then we're in 2018. If they would have done a little reboot remake.
Do you think if they just show the movie at the movies now, people go see it?
This movie, the 1998 film.
Some movies are classics where they can pull still.
You got to give it to how the characters are now and how they was back then. I would, that's what I'm saying. I've already seen it. Maybe.
I'm gonna go ahead and jump on one of my favorites. Classic. Friday, 1995, directed by F. Gary Gary, and it's got some greats too. Not really. We got some pretty well-known actors: Ice Cube, Chris Tucker, Neil Long, John Witherspoon, Regina King, Tiny Lister Jr. They're not A-lister actors, but they're pretty well known by this point. I think Regina King and Ice Cube and Chris Tucker might be the top ones. Not Chris Tucker. I say probably Ice Cube and Regina King. But anyways, for those who don't know what Friday is about, it's about 2 friends sitting on the porch on a Friday and just going about their everyday lives, basically, in the hood. It has a lot of deep meaning behind it when it comes to the social aspect of it and the characters. It's pretty good and relatable story because in the hood, people do sit on their porch and watch what goes on in the hood and stuff. It is pretty funny. It does have its own dramatic moments. And of course, it's one of the movies that put It's the movie that put Ice Cube on the map, made him relevant. I guess you could say Chris Tucker too. In fact, almost everybody in the movie that's relevant now, that movie probably pushed their careers even more. And it was even good enough to spawn 2 sequels. They weren't good, but
so Friday After Next. Because of what?
It was over the top, and it was stuff that was happening that was just kind of stupid. And then they put stereotypes into it, but they forced them into it. In Friday, the characters were, you knew characters like that.
Well, yeah, the neighborhood bully.
Yeah,
who take everybody's money.
But it was done to where it was it wasn't stereotypes. It was just believable people. In the other 2 movies, they were they put stereotypes in there and they forced them in there. What was it? Terry Crews was the guy that got out of jail. He was gay. Then they had the pimp.
Okay.
So that's the biggest difference. That's the biggest difference. Friday just feels more relatable, more authentic. And that's about it. Because hell, I've even had those days when I had a day off, I would literally be on the sitting on the porch with my friends and watching what was going on while we hung out and stuff.
Everybody did that. And it got to where you could do it without actually getting into trouble.
Yeah.
So Okay. Do you think people would go see it?
It still got pulled. That's why they still pushing for a fourth movie. It still got pulled.
Okay. My turn?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Anyways, guys.
Funny. Okay, I have a when I saw this, I was like, okay, yeah. Jawbreaker in 1999. Yeah, have you seen Jawbreaker?
No, I haven't.
Okay, it's an American black comedy film. Hold up, before y'all say, well, wasn't no black people in that film. Their version of black comedy is dark humor. Get it right. Dark humor. Okay, it also has a couple of people you know now. Rose McGowan, Rebecca Gayheart, Julie Benz as the main, you know.
Jawbreaker. Was there one part in that movie? The
girl got the jawbreaker stuck in her throat.
No. I mean, that does sound familiar. Was there one part Rose McGowan's character got like flipped on her back or something like that?
Anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, Judy Greer as Fern, as Violet Mayo. She was the one who started from the bottom. Now, then she was up. That was basically what happened.
Come on.
Don't be shaking your head. That was basically what happened. She started as a little nerd, and then Pam Grier, she played Detective Cruz. Marilyn Manson was on there. You know, the singer.
Oh, that weird chick?
Yeah. He the dude.
No. I'm thinking of the chick with the red hair.
The chick with the red hair.
Hold on. She was on turn. Go ahead.
Anyway. So it just follows these girls. This little clique. You might say like Mean Girls, but Mean Girls was kind of like a comedy, I guess, like funny. But this is like humor where they would play just mean tricks on each other, and they decided to play a mean trick on their friend on her birthday, and it ended up going terribly wrong. So instead of going to the police or telling somebody, they decided to say she was attacked, raped, and the person stuck a jawbreaker down her throat in order to keep her from screaming. And Rose McGowan was the mastermind. She played a pretty good mastermind in this movie. I liked her character. You know, she was kind of a
boosh.
Something like that. Rebecca Gayheart, you know her from
Shirley Manson. That's what it is.
Okay. You can know her from what's that other dark movie called? Urban Legends. She played kind of a weird one on that one, but she plays she wasn't as cruel, and she kind of softened up in the middle. I like this movie because
that's her.
I like this movie because it was kind of dark, but all the stuff that they went through trying to cover up their friend's murder, and then it turned out that the girl that they thought they were gonna, take into their fold and make them like them ended up actually turning the tables on them and then becoming the most popular girl in school because of them. So it just shows what you can, just what you can do to just.
I mean, it shows how, you know, manipulation and being a douchebag and greed and self-interest.
And how hard and how, you know, how important it is to be part of a clique at school. You know, shows the pressures of high school, and like if somebody just says something to you, or if you say something to somebody, it can just turn it into one big nasty rumor.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. I'm gonna change one of mine.
No.
I'm going to, because I feel like, and plus the list that we got, none of them are on the picture that I put up. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of messed up. Let me go ahead. Space Jam.
Good one.
1996. Michael Jordan gets sent to the Looney Tunes world to help them compete in a basketball tournament for their freedom. And let's just say it's badass. I think it still holds up to today. It's got some great comedy in it. It's entertaining. It doesn't drag. Gets things going. The animation and stuff, I think, actually still holds up with the motion capture, with, you know, him being in the Toon World and everything. I think it still looks decent.
I like the beginning.
And the score.
The song.
The score.
Jam. What's up?
Yeah. What's up? What's up? Oh, why you stop? I thought I was going to jump in with everybody get up. It's time to jam. Is it slam now? I'm going to say it's time to slam now. Hey, man, that song went hard. That's one of them songs, like, when you're in school, you got the different cliques. When that started playing, everybody was together on it. It was like,
What school did you go to?
Well, I can't say it on here. But yeah, we used to jam the nerds, the pretty chicks, the jocks, the hood dudes. Everybody was on it.
And you said the nerds.
Yeah. We was all on it. Doing that thing with our neck.
Okay.
But anyway, Space Jam is just great. If there's ever a movie, it's one of those few movies that they managed to cross over live action with cartoon, and it was good. Cool World, I think, was actually pretty good. But outside, next to that one, it's Who Framed Roger Rabbit. If that's not the top one, that's close second. But anyway, Space Jam was actually pretty good. It was really fun. It was a great effort. I like the direction that they went with it. And I think that movie was supposed to spark like sequels, but in each one it would be like a star athlete or something crossing over to the Toon World for some reason or another. But I like the fact that they have that they did it with basketball, because basketball seemed like it was a great combination, especially with the different characters and stuff. And they've been talking about doing a sequel to that for the longest.
Yeah, they have.
And I'm not sure if the sequel is going to hold up. I forgot that Looney Tunes back in action, but I never actually saw the whole thing, so I can't really say. But I actually think this is just a great movie. I still think till this day, it's one of the best basketball movies. And I think like it's just a fun time for like the family to get together, and especially if you're like a fan of the '90s and stuff, you can just go sit back and enjoy this movie. It was just great, and probably Michael Jordan's best performance, if not his only performance. Of course, they have. What was it? What's his name? The guy from Ghostbusters. Gosh.
Bill Murray.
Yeah, Bill Murray got in it. Very talented voice performances as well. All the original cast for the characters, they just bring it. They do their A game. It's just a great movie all around. What's up? And did I mention that soundtrack is Beast?
Okay.
I still kind of think it's weird where he did the whole stretching thing with his arm.
Yeah.
It's like, ew, your arm stretched like that. And it made that weird noise, too. It's like, oh, man. I Believe I Could Fly. Man, that movie has a great soundtrack. But go ahead. Go on.
Well, since you want to do the crossover with the live action and the animated, I did put Cool World on my list. We couldn't watch it like that when we were kids. Had a lot of sex appeal, so I mean, even though we did watch it, I liked it. It took me a while to get into it, but I liked it. Gabriel Bryan, he played Jack.
Jack.
Wow, I can't believe you did that.
She always talks. What's going on, Jack? Oh man,
I can't believe you did it. Okay.
Oh snaps.
Brad Pitt as Detective Frank Harris. He's just want to catch Hollywood. Just want to catch her for.
And Hollywood is the main chick.
Yes.
She's like
Kim
the.
Basinger.
She's
Basinger.
like protagonist / antagonist. And for those who don't know, you said Kim Basinger.
Mm-hmm.
She's the chick that played Vicky Vale off the first Batman movie.
Yes. Let's see. It also had a Frank Sinatra Jr., but he played himself. Who played the voice of that other chick?
The one that liked the detective guy?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Was it Deidre O'Connell as Isabel? What's her name? Isabel?
I think it might be Isabel.
I'm looking at the thing right here. No, Candy Milo as Lynette. Right?
Ooh. I guess.
Is that one? Anyway, somehow I forgot like what happened in the first beginning, but it just follows this
Lynette.
Yeah, it follows this a cartoonist, Jack Deves, Gabriel Bryan. He created a comic book. It's Cool World. And somehow he. Do you remember what he did to?
Crossover.
Yeah.
It was an accident. That's
right.
That's what threw him into it.
Okay. So crossing over, and he meets Holly, and then Frank. He wants to capture Holly, but Holly wants to become real, and the only way to achieve that is
have sex with a noid, which is what they could call humans.
You're annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Jack.
Narik. Madam B.
No.
Madam B.
That don't work. Okay.
Oh man, but that was actually a good movie too. That was a real good movie. And my favorite part, that whole movie, and I'm gonna be a stupid one for this one. Remember, he started realizing he was turning into a cartoon. His hands were.
Oh, okay. I like the group that always hung together. That old woman. They always hung together in a group. They were doodles. They always hung together in a group. But it was that old woman.
I don't remember. I remember the
yeah, she has a thing where she would
let me see.
She was just
Ooh.
Well, people know what I'm talking about.
You know what? You doing that I kind of do remember that.
Yeah, she was the one they always hung together in the group with the with that dude who all keep losing his head, I think. Anyway, the movie, it didn't do so good. They said it focused too much on Holly's sex appeal rather than it being funny. The budget was $30 million, and it didn't do so good in the box office. If they said it focused too much on that.
I don't see why anybody would think just because it was a cartoon, it would be just it would be funny. No, this was actually a pretty serious movie.
But of course, I did like it in the end. Of course, it was like I was like, was he a doodle? Was she a doodle when she pushed him? And he was like yeah.
And then he became one.
Yeah. So it's what ended up on.
It had a happy ending, somewhat.
Of course, I didn't get into the meat, but of course.
Boom, 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 boom. I'm sorry. That is so funny. But at Cool World, that is a good one. It's a neo noir, so it's more of a detective mystery type. So of course it's going to be dark. Of course it's going to be serious. Why would anybody think it'll be funny? All right, then I'm going to jump to another classic. Terminator 2. Bam! James Cameron came in strong with a Terminator sequel that just completely blew. Everybody loved this. Well, not say everybody, but this movie this movie is not only Hallmark is one of the best 90s films, Hallmark is one of the best action films, also sci-fi films and sequels. It's got a good cast. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton comes back. They're great. Robert Patrick is the T-1000. He is freaking awesome. You got Edward Furlong, who nobody has heard from this cat since that movie. But hey, what can you do? It continues the story of the first Terminator film, in which Sarah Connor has had her son John, and now a new Terminator has been sent back in time called the T-1000 to kill John, stop him from rising in the future against the machines. But things have been changed a little bit as his future self manages to send back a Terminator of their own to protect them. So you get a lot of great robot action in this movie, and it's just great not only because of the fact that it tells a good story with great performances and a surprisingly good amount of practical and CGI, which still holds up to today, but it has great meaning behind it. I mean, like what it means to be human. Especially when you see Arnold Schwarzenegger's character learn. You can see how he can actually start to empathize with humans and sympathize with humans. So it just makes for an awesome movie, especially with all the great memorable moments. Some of which still are referenced today, like the one sequence where the Terminator jumps off that ramp on his motorcycle into that big ditch or gully or where it is, while the T-1000 was chasing John. Of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger did do that, and he did break 3 of his ribs, but like that was a memorable moment. The moment where you have, of course, the part where the T-1000 gets frozen. He's doing the little ice walk thing, but he's breaking apart as he's doing it. There's just a lot of great memorable moments in this movie, and like I said, still holds up to today. And for many fans of the franchise, the sequels that have been put out after this movie do not hold up. I, for one, say I do like 3. I do like 3. I would say 3 probably would be my second favorite to this movie. And I know you've seen Terminator 2.
Yeah.
So what do you like about it? You were just blinking. You was like,
it's a good movie. I can't actually pinpoint some,
I don't know you anymore. I'm gonna help her out. One awesome, a few more, and it's also the soundtrack, powerful. Like I was listening to it in the car.
Powerful.
Yes, like I was listening to it in the car, and I was like. I mean, it's got a great soundtrack. Everything from the opening theme to the action sequences to the T-1000's actual theme, great. The ending theme, great. Just a great score all around. Thumbs up to the composer for it. Dude, you are awesome. But Another one of my favorite sequences is the major chase scene at the end of how diverse it gets. Mm-hmm. You have the good guys. They're driving away in one of those armored van vehicles that the SWAT team use or leave. Mm-hmm. And the T-1000 pursues them in a helicopter. And then that shifts over to them getting into a truck and the T-1000 pursuing them again, but this time in a diesel truck. And then that switches over to him pursuing them through this melting plant, welding plant, something like that. It's just some kind of plant. But anyways, just a great movie. Still holds up. If you haven't seen it, what the hell is wrong with you? Go watch that movie. What's your other one? Hey, how you doing?
Well, I'm gonna have to get a little bit romantic on you, and go with the 1999 British romantic comedy Notting Hill. And if anybody don't know what Notting Hill is, well, let me tell you. Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant. They came alive on the screen to me. They really did. It was, of course, they were alive on the screen, but it's like everything was just popping out. It takes place in Notting Hill, London, actually. It's about, and this is not the first movie that you've seen.
It's not Robin Hood-ish, right?
No.
Okay. You said Notting Hill.
Notting Hill.
That sounds almost the same.
No, Hill. Anyway, this is not the first time where you see a movie star play a movie star. That's what Julia Roberts does. She's actually a movie star in this movie. The thing about her, she plays Anna Scott. She's a Hollywood superstar. The thing about her is, okay, and Hugh Grant, he plays William Thacker. He owns a bookstore. Independent bookstore, travel book company. Not too many people buy travel books that much. Anyway, they meet when she walks into a shop. Okay, from her, you would expect, okay, everybody knows me. Let's just get this over with. He had no idea who she was. And to her, that seemed to be like, okay, you know. So they meet in the bookstore. They also meet when he spilled some coffee on her. He's like, okay, well, my house is like right over there. Let's go get you, changed, because she just come back from shopping. On the way out, she kissed him. What she would expect was, okay, this is going to be in the newspapers. She didn't see anything. He had no idea who she was. And to her, that sparked something like, okay, maybe this will, I can actually have something here. Anyway, the movie goes on with them actually getting together. But it sort of like, in the middle, it sort of like messes up because he has a roommate and he knows who she is. And so he tells the newspapers where she's at. And all of a sudden, just people was just hounding her. So they kind of split up for a period of time. And the songs in here, some of the songs I've actually sung to you. You might not remember. You've Got Away, Shania Twain. I Do Cherish You is 98 Degrees. Anyway, I've actually...
I don't remember anyway.
I said you...
I'm messing with you.
No,
you said anyway. I was like, what song is anyway?
No, okay. Anyway, the songs on here, or as you say, the score is very, very good. It actually... Do you remember the songs I sung to you?
I remember Stardom.
Cool.
I remember. I don't remember like by name to something. Like if you start singing, I'm like, yeah, I remember she saying that.
Do you really?
What the hell is she? Oh, I remember she saying that.
Do you really?
Yes.
Anyway, it ends on a good note. What I liked when she said was, I'm trying to do this so I can. Okay, she said when they at the end, when they meet for the last time, and she was like, okay, she said, I like you, you like me, you know, we can be together. But he was like, you know, it's not gonna work like they want it to, because she's such a big movie star. He said you got people hounding you constantly, you know, how can he deal with that? But, you know, she was like, I may be a movie star, but she was like, I'm also just a girl standing in front of a guy asking him to love her. I like that part. So, oh, hush. So all of a sudden, you know, everybody, she leaves. His family, they're all just standing around and be like,
they can't see you.
Huh? Okay. Well, you can see me. They're all standing. Okay, I'll just give you a clear picture. Oh, hush. They're all standing around and they're like, so what did she say to you exactly? You know, because by this time they've, you know, gotten to, you know her and stuff. And then he told her what she said. And he starts to think about it. He was like, oh, bloody hell. And so he had to chase her down, which was very, very good. So, and I just like, it's not cheesy, so it's not a cheesy romance. It's very good. Probably said like some of that stuff wrong, but you know what I'm saying.
You got me blushing.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, you gonna blush red.
I have another one. Of course, Fight Club. Bam! I had to put that bad boy on this list. If you hadn't seen Fight Club, it's about freeing yourself, anarchy, don't follow the rules, don't give a damn. It was directed by David Fincher, a 1999 film, and it stars Brad Pitt, Edward Norton, and Helena Bonham Carter. I like all three of these actors. Although I like Brad Pitt and Miss Carter a bit more than Norton, because I haven't seen a lot of Norton stuff, but I have seen a lot of them too. But it is just a great movie, and not only is it great, it's brutal. And it's got a lot of like undertones to it too. If you actually look at it, and it's also about the storytelling and the direction. It's just done so well. This guy, just this normal everyday guy, bored with his life, ends up meeting this cool guy, this relaxed guy, this guy that's pretty awesome. He's free, you know, named Tyler Durden, and it just turns this guy world upside down. They end up making this thing called Fight Club, where men could get together, beat the crap out of each other, and take out the frustrations of life. And it's just, and in that they form a lot of camaraderie, but it grows on to be something more. And it's just an all around great movie. One of Brad Pitt's the best performances. Loved Edward Norton in this movie, great performance. Miss Carter, I loved her, and this movie is what put her on the spot for me. Loved her performance in this movie. So if you'd like to see a movie where people just beat the shit out of each other, this movie is that movie for you. And I think now, if it was released now, I think it'd still be like a really successful movie, because it's that good, and you really just really like the characters. You like the interesting premise behind the movie. It's just done so well. What's your last one?
Well, to me, I will have to save my best for last. And this is a movie that I have watched many times over and over and over. And I can watch it and then watch it again, like I do The Office. But it is hold on, wrong one. Sorry.
Wow. You hear that Flabbernuggin train?
It is the 1990 American teen musical romantic comedy Crybaby. Have you seen it?
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh. When I first saw this movie, it wasn't just the performances, it was just the music. It just teens and the songs. I've tried to do every move. I know every song.
You said Chicago, maybe I could get on board with you, but nah.
I've even sung some of the songs to you.
Chicago?
No. Anyway.
He had it coming. Let me stop.
Anyway, it stars Johnny Depp as Crybaby Wade Walker. Amy Locane, she played Allison Vernon Williams, a square, what they called him back in the days. And Johnny Depp played, what did they call them?
Jack Sparrow.
Stop. He played it. Okay, they were squares and drapes. That's the thing. Drapes is...
What is a square? What is a drape?
I was just going to tell you.
What is it?
Drapes are, the ones with the greasy back ponytails, the one who don't care, the ones who...
The greasers?
The ones who... They call them drapes, hun.
Oh, okay. Don't rip my shirt.
This is my shirt.
Wow.
Anyway... Okay, the greasers, the one who just don't care, who smoke and act up and all that. The squares, well, square.
Everybody that's normal.
The uptight ones. Anyway, Ricky Lake played on there as a very pregnant Pepper Walker as Crybaby's sister. Tracy Lords, I don't know if you know her. She played Wanda. Kim McGuire, Hatchet Face. Also a singer, Iggy Pop. Anyway, it basically follows drapes and squares. Drapes, of course, bad. Squares are good. It's a musical, so at the end and the beginning, it stars, just starts singing. They're getting their, what kind of shots are they getting? What was it? I forgot what kind of shots they were getting. Anyway. Okay. This drape likes a square, or the square likes a drape. I guess you would say they kind of were like into each other, but of course it was forbidden.
Wait, was she the chick out Married with Children, the mom? Or was she the daughter?
No.
It says she's on there.
No. Anyway, to allow the drapes and the squares to hang out, it was forbidden. So, one day, Crybaby decides he wants to talk to a square, and he approached Allison, and, okay, you want to come hear me sing? She was like, okay. And then all of a sudden, her boyfriend, got into it and was like, no, I forbid you, and stuff like that. And then they were singing at a function. Of course, Crybaby came and swooped her up on his motorcycle, took her, and like, you want to hear some real singing, baby? You come with me. So,
So Johnny Depp was talking like that?
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
I'm sure he was like very, very sexy in this movie. So sexy.
Okay.
Anyway,
Jack.
Anyway, basically, that's just what it follows. It also has his, and she wasn't his ex. She was just she had a crush on Crybaby. They called her a loose girl. I mean, she just kind of was just everywhere. It was all loosey goosey everywhere. You know what I'm saying. You know what they say about loose girls.
I don't know. I came up with like 4 different definitions. She could dance, or she's out there. or she's like loose in the head, and you was like she get around. I'm like she get around.
Wow.
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, okay. She gets around. She's out there. All right. So I mean, in between the songs and the little bit of what they were talking to, it was like the songs is kind of what got it for me. And like I said, the performances were good too.
Is it the songs themselves, or is it the performance of the songs? Like, is it the scene?
Well, you know what? Now that you say that, the way they performed them kind of got me watching the movie over and over. And, when I actually, not the regular songs, because the people who actually wrote the songs and sung them, I kind of like, no. But, yeah, the performances of the people who did the songs in the movie. Because it were good. They had, like, a jail scene called Teardrops Are Falling. I've got to play that for you. I mean, you would actually think that, was that him actually singing, I wonder? Johnny Depp.
He's a pretty good singer, surprisingly good singer.
But yeah, I like the jail scene when he was singing. And I also like the one where where Allison finally came to her senses, and Crybaby was in jail, and they was like, go get your man. And then she was on top of the car in a red dress, and she was just singing to the jailers to release her man. Yeah.
Did she go to jail too?
No.
Oh.
Anyway. I also like the High School Hellcats at the end. That song. I like them all. Well, okay. When I actually looked up some of the characters, and they actually did what did they think of the movie? Now, they did Johnny Depp, they did Kim McGuire, and she had on a ton of makeup in that movie. And then when she took it off when they did the interview, I was like, damn. Like, seriously, I don't mean to, but yeah. And
L. I'm gonna pull a Kelly. L.
Of course, Ricky Lake and Amy Locane. She said her mom had come to see her rehearsal and stuff like that, and then she was so embarrassed and scared because her and Johnny Depp had a makeout scene, and she was like, okay, my mom was looking at me making out with Johnny Depp, so she was like, she couldn't focus. And it also found she was in some movies, but she was in prison for a while. It was bad, but she's out, and big ups to her, and I hope she learned from that, because it did end bad.
I thought you said she didn't go to jail.
No, in real life.
I'm
talking about in real life.
I'm like,
yeah.
Dang, the movie got kind of dark. God,
Yeah.
no. I'm interested.
And there's your phone.
Yeah, I got my phone.
Anyway, yeah, that's what I'm talking about in real life. It had been good for her. So, but to anybody who hasn't watched Crybaby, watch it again. I mean, watch it.
Wow.
And then watch it again, and then dance. And dance again. I like that movie. I love that movie. It was like, I wish they could just.
Well, before you get lost in that movie, I'm gonna get into mine.
Well.
All right then. Our final movie that we're gonna be talking about for tonight is one of my personal favorites. I know it didn't do too well at the box office, but it does have a pretty good cult following behind it. Predator 2.
Oh.
Wow.
I don't know.
It was the 1990 sci-fi horror directed by Stephen Hopkins. It has some pretty good talent behind it. Danny Glover, Gary Busey, Bill Paxton. Busey. I don't know. I keep messing up that guy's name.
Bussy.
You got Ruben Blades, Maria Cachita Alonso, and Kevin Peter Hall. But it's a great movie. To me, it's there's a lot of people that don't like this movie, but I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know why I like this movie. One, I like the fact that they got the directors and the writers were brave enough to go in a different direction than they did in the first movie. So instead of we getting a rehash of the first movie, we got something totally different. It's nice to see the predator hunt, and in fact, any science fiction creature like this actually interact with like people like this, like they're hunting people in the city and stuff like that. I love stuff like that. I love the setup. It's chaos and everything, which draws the predator. I like the story itself. The predator comes to Los Angeles where the gangs were just out of control with the cops and war basically in the streets. And predator takes advantage of that. I love the sequences which are absolutely amazing. And to me, this movie feels more like a horror movie than it does in the previous one. Previous one felt more like a sci-fi mystery. This one feels like a horror movie. There are several moments where it's like this thing is truly terrifying. Two of my favorite moments are, in fact, it's like 3 or 4 favorite moments. One is the sequence with King Willie. You see the predators walking through the water, but he's invisible. So you see his footsteps in the water as he approaches him. And then you see his reflection through the water. So I'm like, that was amazing. The sequence where the predator takes out that Jamaican gang in that condo. Mm-hmm. Epic. And my personal favorite scene, which makes the predator look absolutely badass in all of the freaking movies, especially with the reveal, is the moment where Danny Glover wounds it, takes its mask off, and then it surprises him, and then it gets up and just stalks straight toward him,
looking like a
and he's like, I won. He's like, you might have got me a couple times, but I got you. The only reason he stayed alive because Gary Busey character kind of stepped in and saved him. But it's a great movie. It's action packed. It's fast paced. It doesn't slow down when things get going. I do like the characters. My biggest criticism of the entire movie would be I wish they would have did a little bit more of the characters. Because in the first movie, you had a good like 20 to 30 minutes to kind of get to know the characters. Mm-hmm. In this one, you get less time than that because things just start kicking off as soon as the movie goes. So, but it is a great movie. Love the fantastic soundtrack behind it. Definitely gives it that predator-ish feel like they had in the first one, while introducing a lot of new stuff. I like the predator, how they gave a little bit more exposition onto what the creature is and how it hunts and what it sees as potential prey and what is its potential threat and stuff like that. So it was just a great movie all around, in my opinion. Thought it did a great and fantastic job with the Predator series. And it's still like up to one of my favorite movies of all time. And not to mention, I love the performances. Think they were well done. The special effects, I think, were actually pretty good, and they still hold up to today. I'm not sure if people will have appreciation for it now, especially with the movie Predators came out, and which is the thing about Predators was people said Predators felt too much like the first Predator movie, but then when you get Predator 2, people's like it's too different. So. Yeah. Hopefully the new Predator movie that's coming out this year would bridge that gap. But that's all the movies that we have for you, folks. We hope you guys watch some of these movies and leave us some thoughts in the comment section below. Let us know some of your 5 favorite movies, or 5 of your favorite movies, and we hope you agree with some of our points, and let us know down there if you agree with some of our points as well. So anyways, hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what is going on this channel. And we're trying to go ahead and keep up the video uploads on Tuesdays and Thursdays, regardless of it's Breaker the Base. We'll have Streamline or movie reviews or MademB and Narik reviews. Just so many things that we do have on this channel. So hope you guys enjoy that. And definitely hit that subscribe button. We'll catch you guys later.
Yeah.